There it is. Zoom over and get David on the sideline for this first victory. And there's the flag. There's David jumping up and down. The Eagles will get the first victory for head coach David Perkins in his head coaching career, his first year as a head coach, 12 seconds and counting. We're going to try to get Rob Perkins walking down, congratulating everybody for this first victory. 16-7. I got to take that field goal off. Two touchdowns in the fourth quarter for the Eagles. And the Eagles will pick up win number one, and they'll go into the game next week against St. Mary's with a victory. Robert Andrews got Coach Bell. Let's go to Robert with the post-game interview. Find him over on the 25, Landon, 35-yard line. Robert, take it away.
16-7 Menard, which we thought.
Lift the camera up.
We just weren't pitching enough too many possessions on offense, and you know, something to go over there and fight our tails off a week from now.
Thank you. Now we're going to go over to Jeffrey Owens. Jeffrey, let's see if we can get him up, pulled up. Jeffrey, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, real quick, guys, Coach, I was going to say, as a former partner of mine in the booth, and now the head coach, congratulations on the first victory. Coach,
all of our staff, all of our fans, all of our parents, let's all do them. And I'm so proud of you. We were looking to be but we got in our defense in a hell of a game. Offense picked it up in the second half. What a win, man.
Go Eagles. Yeah, I'm going to let Jeffrey ask questions, but tell Coach Scully congratulations and the whole staff, because that defense played their tails off. Let's one question, Coach.
These guys got great game plan, and then together, and defense was lights out.
Hey, thanks for everything, David. Eagles
Good job.
Everybody, we are live now at Wildwood Pizza. Let's hear it for the Menard Eagles with all the fans here. There we go. Fan crowd here for the time at the point where you said victory formation.
Then we'll take the points off the board. If you keep the points, they still got a shot. It goes a little over a minute left, seal the game for us.
It sure did, and there's some great plays. We're going to be covering them as we go into our next segment, but just wanted to kind of relish in the victory,
when they would go to quarterback, would try to keep it. We were right there. When they try to pitch it, we'd have 3 or 4 guys on him. So it got kind of, interesting. And later in the game, a couple people go down, a couple people go out, and we just kept rolling.
That had to leave. Next man up. They did.
Defense is going to we're going to put a lot of good guys on defense. And our offense goes against our first defense every day. That's going to make we preach being physical, not just on the defense, but on the offensive side of the ball too. And if you go back and look at that film, even though we didn't score a whole lot of points, our offensive line was really physical with their defensive line, and
ad nauseum, as far as they go. But y'all, it was a scenario where you're moving
down there and score. And then if you do that early, the game is probably going to be a little bit different, especially with the way we were playing on defense.
Before we start going into our interview segments, but we're going to be back right.
Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks right from your phone. Day or night.
1-844-844-88 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
BK Distributors is proud to support high school athletics on 446 Sports. BK is the one-stop shop for trophies, banners, awards, letter jackets.
Celebrating a great victory last Friday night over the Red River Nemesis. Great. We got to simulcast that for everybody. I thought we played it fair enough for everybody, but we still showed our excitement for you guys and for the Eagles and for our school. In winning. So we're gonna take a look at some clips and kind of walk through them, Coach. I turned the audio off, so we should have just video, and because it led to the punt that we had to do on that first drive, and then we come into the defense, Coach, and that is Braylon Dusang. He was in the backfield, lived in their backfield.
He did, and we kind of dumped the ball out in the flats the first play of the game to see what we would do, but of course he didn't have a chance to even get to the edge. Braylon got through there, and so kind of set him back right off the first play.
I think
quarterback right there is a pretty quick kid, and he couldn't get away from him and makes a big play on the side. But no, it was a great play, and so we're getting the ball right back.
And we're moving the football and start to move the football, and you're thinking, hey, he falls forward. You can see him right there. He gets over the 50-yard line. We had a lot of good field position here early in the game, and don't think of that, but it gives our offense a good field position, and that's very important. And he's really holding on to the football. And we did drop the ball on 3 times, and you coached that with Aiden, in terms of he's running kind of high up and maybe tuck it down a little bit and tuck it tight.
Yeah, we went back and looked at the film on this, and we picked out a couple things that he was doing wrong. First of all, whenever he's going to side, he had the ball in his right hand, and he should have had it in his left hand, and then the same thing to the other side. So he's got to have the ball in his outside arm because the tackles are coming from the inside. He does hold it up high, and sometimes whenever, he's a good running back.
Oh, yeah.
And he sticks his foot in the ground a lot to just got a hand in there and knocked it out. So,
yeah,
but we've coaching him up about it.
And we're back on defense because there was a lot of times that we, had to punt, whether it was a turnover or they just stopped us. And then we get the ball, and this is –
And we just told him all week to squeeze. He had an assignment. The quarterback was his because they like to run that dive up. So once he set that, then we set our strength to that side because that's the way they ran it most of the time. And he was a left-handed quarterback, so he was also going to go to his left about 85% of the time. So that's the other key that they didn't realize.
Going to run the play there, and then they'll move their guys maybe to the other side. So that's what you see when we're adjusting. And Cooper Scott's calling out the strength. So, it takes a smart guy in there to call that out because you don't want –
We'll see a play on our end that kind of almost caught them in what you were just talking about with the right side of the line. We went for a big gain. But we're gonna take another break, and we'll be back with the other half of our highlights when we come back. You're watching.
Time for a red, white, and cool summer event at Southern Air Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Right now, you can save on a new energy saving system. No money down, 0%.
And you have access 24/7. All the functionality of banking you're used to, made easier to use.
From your next family eye exam to cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to
You like about live TV, don't you? It's wonderful pizza in one of those brick ovens, and they have great salads. And Wednesday night they got 2-for-1 wine and beer for the adults, people over 21.
Go Gary Perkins.
Gary Perkins and Garrett Perkins. Garrett's taken over, and the staff has been wonderful. And, they come out and take care of us, whatever we need. So just a big hand that we give to Wildwood Pizza for letting us be here. So let's move on to this.
The only one that had multiple dudes, now they took the pitch, and so they were not ready for that. They thought we were going to chase. And we didn't. We sat, and then as you see, it's a lot of work that you put into it. But our guys buying into what we were doing, and we had fans. There's a couple kids that this was their first.
A lot of film study, and you can see as soon as that guy goes inside, Cody boom knows what his assignment is. You can see him playing
around and hiding the football, and Cooper Scott takes it and he had the ball, but the offensive line, as you've already said, off into the corner of the end zone.
And you can see how big it is to him and the team, that we scored right there. You can see
inside, he comes in and hits his block right there. So he ties that linebacker up.
Well, he better because Coach.
Right.
When I made it a permanent slide, so to speak, late in the fourth, and Whitty comes out and finds Landon Jackson. I believe it's Jackson, number 1. And look at this pass. I mean, over the shoulder, over Cody. I mean, Cody's right there.
Yeah, he was. And the pass they completed, they were on the money, and he made great catches, and Cody had good coverage. It's just it's one of those things. They just, it worked in their favor on this. But the thing is, you
just got to tip your.
He played almost the whole game. Okay, so. We preach to our guys that the most important plays are going to come when they're the most tired, okay? But that just happened to be.
Go to the Southern Air cool play of the game. That's the end. It'll loop back, I have no control.
Down on about the 5-yard line.
Injury of some kind, and we're like, oh my gosh, he's out. And then all of a sudden it's like, that's Cooper Scott.
And he's running.
Get out of the hands of the running back. Flags. I mean, I get goosebumps.
That's the first thing I look
that.
for was flags. So I always do that.
So that comeback, we've got Cooper Scott and Carter Marcantel that will enter.
Make your burger your style.
Leather jackets and just about anything award related. And now welcome BK Apparel and BK Promotions to the family. For all your spirit
Memorial Drive to serve you better. Stop by, say hey to our crew, and check out our awesome holiday.
Plumbing. Right now you can save on a new energy saving system. No money downs your percent.
Little something about you guys. Carter, we'll start with you. Both y'all are seniors because we're doing a senior spotlight. Does it seem like it just flew by? I remember your answer 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little, but I feel like it just kind of longer. I don't know. I feel like it was a long time in high school. Like trying to remember back to freshman year, I don't really remember that much. But
have you enjoyed?
And it was just a great scene. First time beating them in a while, like that time.
Right.
Going back to back's pretty big.
The first one down to the 20, and two that they would have needed as you made it 16-7. You played fast and looked around and said, okay, I don't have to worry. Nobody's here.
I was definitely tired because when I got in the end zone, I debated laying down.
Dive into the end zone and then thought better of it.
Yeah, basically.
Was that going through your
I was
head?
thinking about it because I didn't know how much longer I could do it.
Let's talk a little bit about the future. I mean, as seniors, in May, it'll be here before you know it. I mean, that's going to go by. As soon as football season ends, man, you're going to think, where did time go? What's the future look like for you guys? College, where?
After this, I get to go to LSUE for baseball or whatever, and I'm thinking after that, I go some 7 that came from the starting lineup last year that committed to D1 after. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
And big hunting guy.
And DC's restaurant.
DC's?
Yeah, that's one of the better restaurants down there.
I don't know if I've ever.
St. Mary's coming up. It's going to be a tough one. I called their game against Buckeye. So I know you guys are prepared.
Overwhelming. Do you have enough coverage? Or are you paying too much? Will someone be there for you when the unexpected happens? I'm Jason Hall with Farm Bureau Insurance. You might think it's easier.
Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download our
is here to help with your family's eye care needs, just like we have been for nearly 40 years. Call Wallace Eye Associates today at 318-448-4488 to schedule your next eye evaluation.
Georgia, and
I'm Michael.
And Michael from the MAC team. And first of all, tell us what the MAC team. All right, and by the way, Menard, MAC team stands for. How do you join the MAC team? You have to be a junior.
Well, you apply as a junior, and
all
then
right.
it's an application process, and then they select you.
Kind of early, but how has the MAC team helped you grow in your faith?
To ourselves and to each other. And we're assigned accountability and prayer partners. So I've got 2 girls. I mean, it's great, and it helps me stay where I got to go.
I mean, that kind of leads into my next question. I guess I'll ask you.
We've all just.
But, well, I guess we're not doing much for this one, but we are doing a skit for the senior retreat next week, and then we've got the 8th grade one, and that's Sarah Ann.
Okay, what got you into that?
I started doing theater when I was maybe 7.
During the service?
Or no, I just.
No? Okay, that's fine.
I just don't do anything.
It's okay. Graders, they have a diocesan retreat, which is so much fun. We have 8th graders from St. Mary's in Cabrini.
That's pretty much all the questions I have, unless Jeffrey has a question. I mean, I guess we'll go to a commercial break and we'll send it back to
Hi, I'm Kimberly, experience in real estate over the past your valuation needs.
Our mobile banking app is changing the way we bank. Things are getting easier, transactions are getting safer, and you have...
For a lifetime of the best possible vision, look to Wallace Eye Associates, where our tradition of eye care excellence in Cenla spans nearly 40 years. To cataract and glaucoma evaluations, trust your vision to the experienced eye professionals at Wallace Eye Associates. Call Wallace.
And we're back live here at Wildwood Pizza on the corner of Jackson Street and Texas Avenue. And Coach Scully, you got one of your assistants here tonight.
Absolutely. Lainey Smith's here. Yeah, she's in the house sitting here. She's a big supporter of, Coach Perkins and the football team. And yeah, we're glad to have her. She's doing a great job. It's a good group we have of girls. There's no doubt about it.
So we're back here, and we're gonna. This is our last. I'll edit it and put the video shot of the MAC team set. The boys, attending mass because of the playoff game. I think basketball was playing. Right. I mean, I don't know if track was going, but it seemed like almost every student.
Absolutely, every Wednesday we do meet in the gym and have mass. Obviously, we teach the Catholic faith at Holy Saint. I went, pre-K through faith at Holy Saint. I went, pre-K through 12 at Catholic schools, and
I think for us it's an accountability thing. I think the thing is we get to pray before games. We go in as a team to the chapel. We pray before games. Friday morning we have prayer service, or it's a big thing for our kids. I know it's big for Stephanie Richardson and the campus ministry team and the MAC. And I'm not sure if I'm missing anybody else, but those guys are part of the MAC team as well. So
take it and move to the last bit of the show and the look ahead. It is Wednesday right now. Right in the heart of the football game. We get to play your first home game as a head coach. Everything's a first right now. So, just kind of share with me your thoughts of coming in and being able to, your first time as a head coach.
It's going to be exciting for me, but our fans, my family and our fans, our coaches, we're excited about playing it. Help from upstairs there, from my family, my immediate family. And, I'll pray to those guys, and I know that they got Chad Juno. He did some work for us at our football field. And when we come out of Chips Bowl and just looking for a great opportunity to play a great team and have some success.
I'm glad you brought that up because we'll have Sacred Heart coming up, and then we've got Opelousas Catholic that we'll have in our 9 legs. And I think they're both left-handed, or left-footed, if I remember. So, this is going to be.
They sling the ball around the whole time. They probably throw 80% of the time, so it's maybe even more than that. Played really well against us, so it's going to be another big challenge for the defense, and hopefully by Friday we'll be ready to.
Well, appreciate both of y'all and the crowd tonight as